Alright, so this hand is, speaking of weird, this hand's a little bit weird, but we have basically everything right in the hand here. We're just missing ramp, but we have a good turn 2 play, and then if we draw some lands, our turn 3 and 4 are basically game winning. So we'll keep this. Okay, we're playing against Tron here, and we do get the next land that we were looking for. If this is the classic Tron list, they can beat Infinite Life, so the Spike Feeder isn't the direction we're going to want to go, but the Walking Ballista here is exactly what we need. Okay, so they are going to have turn 3 Tron, which is a problem. Pretty good sequence there for them. I guess we'll just attack for 2 and play the Heliod anyway. If they have something like Worm Coil, we're fine, but if they have Karn, we're probably toast. Karn the Great Creator is actually pretty good from their side. It means Walking Ballista isn't going to work. Okay, what do they get here with the Karn? Maybe like a Pithing Needle or something? Liquid Metal Coating. Okay. So that can turn off one of my lands. That's actually pretty strong from the opponent here. I was hoping to use all of my mana to kill their Karn. And that means my Canopy is no longer going to be tapping for mana. Arbor Elf showing up to the party a little bit late, but yeah, that's right. We don't have double white here, so we're not going to be able to get the Auriok Champion onto the board. Ahsoka stays in hand. We could play a Spike Feeder here. That does give us access to Unbound Life, and because we have the Conclave Mentor on the board, that should actually just straight up win us the game. Save targets, always yield. So we're going to have to do this a few times. And then after we combo with the Spike Feeder, we start putting the Heliod tokens onto the Conclave Mentor, and that's going to win us the game. Okay. Took us a second to get there, but opponent conceded before we had to attack, which was quite nice of them. I've had several opponents who have decided that they would rather play for the clock, which is fine. I mean, that's a part of Moto. I'm wondering if I should bring in the Skyclave Apparition. It's pretty good against specifically that Karn, the Great Creator. But I definitely want to bring in the Damping Spheres, and we're going to have to take out a couple cards anyway. Scavenging Ooze can definitely go. I think the Champion is not very strong, so we can probably bring in one Apparition here. There is a question of if we want to bring in Path to Exile for Wormcoil Engine, but I don't think Wormcoil is that much of a threat, unlike their Planeswalkers. Ranger-Captain could be quite strong, keeping them from playing a Planeswalker for a turn. Wondering, the Giver of Runes could actually give something protection from Colorless to protect it from Karn. So that seems pretty strong. Alright, maybe I should just play it like this. Maybe I should look up a sideboard guide. They probably exist. This is good enough. We have some ramp. Collected Company can do some pretty special things in this deck. Kind of want to play the Utopia Sprawl immediately so that I have access to 3 mana next turn. Before I played the Forest, the other option was the Giver of Ruins, so that I would be able to start protecting things next turn, but that wouldn't allow me to Skyclave a map, for example. Okay, they found Karn Liberated, and they just passed the turn back. Okay, so we could play Temple Garden, Giver of Ruins, and then Eladamri's Call for Walking Ballista, maybe? Too bad we don't have a Phyrexian Revoker in the list. Okay, well, they got the Tron. Of course they do. So we're going to lose our Forest and the Utopia Sprawl here. I think that's basically GG. I don't think we can fight through this. Do not like this hand. Mulligan. This hand better. Keep. And we'll get rid of one of the basics. This is a good hand. Hope for a Collected Company off the top. Opponent mulliganing to 4, but they are playing Tron. I think that last league, I lost a game to Tron where they mulliganed to 3. They just slammed Tron on turn 3, started playing their spells. So we play Arbor Elf first, so we have the opportunity to have 4 mana with the Utopia Sprawl next turn. 5 total. Unfortunately, we don't really have much to do with it. Might as well get the mana going. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason not to play the Damping Sphere. And we can just attack with the Arbor Elf, I guess. And more mana. So we have a couple good cards here, but for the most part, we're really just struggling to find something off the top of our deck. Fortunately, the Damping Sphere should give us time. They would have had Natural Tron otherwise. Let's see what they reveal with the Stirrings. An Expedition map. So that will be going for Blast Zone. More mana. Come on, deck. There's the Blast Zone, they get to play it, so we only have a couple more turns with the Damping Sphere being available. Finally find a spell to play. So we give the elf lifelink just so that we can do the extra damage here. We still have a chance. They're not going to be able to kill our Damping Sphere this turn. They have to wait one more turn, and then they're going to have to tap quite a bit of mana to activate the Blast Zone to kill the Damping Sphere. So we have this draw and maybe one more. Not the best draw here. Deck really hates me for this keep. Deck said, "Oh, you want mana, do you? I'll give you all the mana you can handle." And then it gave me too many manas, and not enough things to do with it. But we could get Walking Ballista off the top here, and that would probably still win us the game straight up. Conclave Mentor. Not what I was looking for. And the Conclave Mentor will also get destroyed by Blast Zone. Seems good. It would potentially give us another token on the Arbor Elf, but they would use the Blast Zone just to take it off the board before we would get the counter on the Arbor Elf anyway. It does not give us enough devotion. So I don't think we're supposed to play it. I think we're supposed to keep it in hand. Just attack for 3, give the Arbor Elf lifelink. Okay, so bye-bye Damping Sphere. They have access to all the mana now. Let's see what they have. What horrible, horrible thing awaits us. They start with a Great Creator. The Damping Sphere, it did give us a lot of time, but in the end it's not going to be enough. Karn Great Creator here is pretty good. Let's see here. What happens if we get... What could we get off the top? Oh, let's find out. Skyclave Apparition. So we can kill the Karn. We can't attack into the Worm Coil yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we cannot get the Heliod going either. Do think that Skyclave is the best thing. Hit Karn. The Worm Coil's not that big a deal. It will kill us in a few turns, but if they start attacking with it, we can start attacking in return. The question is, do we play Conclave Mentor? I mean, we should have tapped our mana differently if we had intended to do that, but we can still just untap the Temple Garden here to do it. I don't think that's terrible. It does expose it, but I think that's fine. Okay, here's Liberated. Which one are they going to choose with Liberated? Is it going to be the Forest or the Heliod? Okay, fortunately we have a backup Heliod in hand. Okay, Pithing Needle is going to name Walking Ballista, I would bet. Yep, it does. But we can still draw a Spike Feeder, and I think we win. Collected Company would be good. Another Heliod. Deck is a troll. I don't think we do anything here. Okay, they're going to kill our Heliod here. They might have another Karn coming too. No, a Butcher of Truth. Okay, they get to draw 4 cards. So our time is very nearly up here. Annihilator 4 is going to be brutal. We really need to draw good here off the top. They're going in for an attack though. That's fine, no blocks. Okay, this is, I think, our last shot. Spike Feeder or Collected Company. A Forest. Come on, deck. Alright, so we have to sacrifice 4 permanents. We have to block. Yeah, this game's over. Deck didn't give us what we needed. That happens. A 1-land hand. No ramp. This hand is mulligan. Pure garbage. This hand is fine, we can keep this. I think we get rid of one of the Conclave Mentors. Probably going to play Ranger-Captain on the second turn anyway. And we have 3 lands here. Ooh, playing against a basic forest. I wonder if this is the mirror match. That'd be pretty cool. Oh, we got Utopia Sprawl. We're going to have so many manas. Will we play the Arbor Elf first, of course? Okay, Hollowed Fountain. Definitely not the mirror match. And they played it untapped. So they're ready to path to exile the Arbor Elf. Okay. Let's go get a Plains. And we get Collected Company. Interesting. So we could play Conclave Mentor. Or we could play Utopia Sprawl. Oh, we can play Utopia Sprawl, Conclave Mentor. We have a land drop. Okay, that's good. Go get Temple Garden. game white for the Utopia Sprawl, play the Mentor. Okay, next turn we have access to Collected Company. Opponent probably playing some form of control deck. Ooh, Field of Ruin hits the snow-covered forest here. We do still get to play Collected Company, and that's going to tap them off their mana. Really? Because non-basic, of course. I keep on forgetting that. I've seen that before already. And that's why I specifically look to enchant the basics. So at some point, I'm going to remember that Field of Ruin doesn't hit basic lands. Someday. Okay, they could have Spell Pierce here, I guess. They went for that Field of Ruin pretty aggressively. Spike Feeder. We do have 5 mana here. I think I'd probably attack with Conclave Mentor and then Collected Company before damage, just in case we get lethal. Would there be any reason not to just do it in the main step, though? Get another Conclave Mentor, a Giver of Ruins, and a Scavenging Ooze. Don't mind the Scavenging Ooze. I think we're playing against an Uro deck here. And Giver of Ruins could be quite strong as well. No creatures to eat. That looked like Uro mana. No, this is a Teferi Time Rattler. And they're bouncing the Giver of Ruins to draw a card and leave me without protection. So this is going to be, I guess, a path to exile, meaning we'll have to attack Teferi with both of our creatures. Should have actually used that 1 mana there to take one of the cards out of their graveyard. Ranger-Captain here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably just go get Walking Ballista with it still. I mean, whatever our choice is, right? Kind of playing into a sweeper here if they have one. But at least the Ranger-Captain replaces itself. Could sacrifice the Ranger-Captain during their draw step, but they wouldn't be pathing our creature here if they had a sweeper. Okay, there's the Uro. Gonna munch that up with Scavenging Ooze. If they let me. They do have a white mana available here. Okay. Might as well take the path as well. Conclave Mentor. No more creatures in the yard, so Conclave Mentor isn't going to be all that hot for the Scavenging Ooze, but it is pretty good for the Walking Ballista Spike Feeder. And opponent only has 1 mana available. One, two, three, four. Let's make a 3/3 Ballista, have protection with Giver of Ruins. Seems like a pretty strong board here. Opponent could stall us for quite a bit of time with a Cryptic Command. Oh, it looks like they're going to Omnath. Gain a bunch of life, make a bunch of mana. Haven't actually seen Omnath in quite some time. But, you know, I only play like 5 leagues a week. So my sample size is much smaller than some people's would be. What's that lightning bolt? Oh, of course. It would have to be targeting Giver of Ruins. Should I have sacrificed the Ranger-Captain with Omnath on the stack? Probably. Hour of Promise. So that goes and gets them Field of the Dead. They can start making zombies. Yep. So we're not going to be winning by attacking, that's for sure. And the answer to the question, should I have used Ranger-Captain this turn? Absolutely yes. But they are tapped out here, so we do still have outs to win. If we draw Heliod, for example, we win. Alright, so I think we probably just take the Giver of Ruins here. I mean, does making our Scavenging Ooze bigger really matter? I don't think so. And we might want to gain that life later. See if we can draw a good card. Heliod, please. No Heliod. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. We can activate the Walking Ballista once, and then Ranger-Captain during their upkeep. They do only have 2 cards left in hand. But I would like to be able to get to my next turn. Alright, so we basically silenced them for this turn. They're going to attack in with all their dudes. We're going to block 2 of them. We'll end up taking 4. That's fine. It does make our Scavenging Ooze more vulnerable to Lightning Bolt, but they can't cast spells, so not really. And another land off the top. Deck likes to tease. So let's see, how much land do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can activate the Walking Ballista twice. And then we can kill the Omnath. We are pretty dead to these zombies, though. Maybe we have to Spike Feeder. We can also start moving around Spike Feeder tokens, which is going to be less mana than the Walking Ballista. And that can also start gaining us life. Renin 6. Okay. If that tries to kill the Walking Ballista, we can save it with the Spike Feeder. I'll make it a 3/3. But we won't want to block any zombies with it. I think this is going to be our last turn to draw out of this. Okay, so the no attack. Unfortunately, we don't have enough mana for the Walking Ballista to grow, but we can grow the Scavenging Ooze, or at least take a card out of their graveyard. We only have one creature left. Let's get rid of that Lightning Bolt, I guess. Yes. Okay, they only have one card in hand. Let's hope it's not a counterspell. No reason not to play this card. Do you have the counterspell? They do not. Nice. Lucky us. Whew. Alright, so let's bring in Choke. Veil of Summer. Could bring in Eidolon, but I think that's more for Storm. Rest in Peace is pretty mediocre. Auriok Champion, not that great. Sorry, Ahsoka. Path to Exile, not that hot. Give her Ruins is fine. Skyclave definitely has targets. We can keep a pair of those. Ranger-Captain's great. I think we take out at least one Arbor Elf. They are playing Renin 6. I think we'll go with this. Okay, so we have the combo in hand, but we don't have any acceleration. This doesn't win on turn 4. I think it's like takes till turn 5 to get there. This hand is better. We'll keep this. Get rid of one of the Spike Feeders. And Pendelhaven. Okay, let's go get a forest and play that Sprawl. Feel like it's almost always right to name white with the Utopia Sprawl. Okay, here's Renin 6. It's going to be drawing them a card every turn. And Arbor Elf right on time. But good thing we didn't have the Arbor Elf last turn. I definitely would have played it, and it would have died. We're just going to want to play the Ranger-Captain here, I think. But we can actually play Pendelhaven, Utopia Sprawl on white, and then Ranger-Captain. Not gonna lie, I was definitely considering the Giver of Ruins. Ren 6 draws a card. And they're passing with 3 mana up. Nope, we're sticking on the second main. Okay, here's Uro. Oh, Veil of Summer. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can make it 2/2 Ballista. We could kill the Ren 6, but I don't think that's where we want to be. I think we'll just hold up Veil of Summer, though. Attack the Ren 6 down. Okay, X is 2. That's what we want to do. Ren 6 draws a card, as they are wont to do. Oh, are they passing here, or are they doing the second main thing? Okay, passing 7 cards in hand, and all the manas. It's not frightening at all. I'm so scared. Let's try and kill this Ren 6. We're going to send both creatures at it, so if they have a removal spell, we'll be able to get it out of the way anyway. Okay, it's dead. I think we play Arbor Elf, maybe Spike Feeder, but I might want to just hold up the mana to activate the Walking Ballista instead. And we'll hold up Veil of Summer and Pendelhaven. So if they Ren 6, for example, we can save the Arbor Elf with Pendelhaven. And if they try anything else, ooh, Lightning Bolt. Okay, we're not going to be able to save the Walking Ballista with the Veil of Summer this way. But we can activate it and do them 3 damage. Can't Veil of Summer or Lightning Bolt. Oh, and they're grabbing that Lightning Bolt again. That's going to be able to kill the Ranger-Captain. Think that our opponent might get the revenge for last game. We do have a lot of mana, though. Okay, this does take the shields down on the Veil of Summer. Ooh. That's a pretty good one. Wonder if they've been playing around this Veil of Summer the whole time, and this was the bait to ruin my mana. Okay, we got Heliod, but because our mana is ruined, we can't Heliod Spike Feeder to gain Unbound Life. So I think we just play the Heliod and kill the Ren 6. Heliod not vulnerable to Lightning Bolt. Okay, here's Omnath. So they're going to be able to do a bunch of stuff this turn. We don't have anything to do. Let's just hit 6. Let the opponent do their thing. They have 3 cards in hand. They could absolutely, like, Hour of Promise something. Ooh, they got Mystic Sanctuary going here. Getting back their Cryptic Command. So they're going to have us Cryptic locked. Well, they are spending all their mana here. But we're not going to have enough for the kill. We're going to have to go for Unbound Life. And then does the opponent have a way to deal with that? Or would they be the type of person that would want to run down our clock and just attack us with zombies? We don't know the answers to these questions. Another land. So they gain a bunch of life for that. Growth Spiral, draw a card. Oh, and that gives them the mana. That's still not enough mana for Cryptic Command. Let's move to the next phase, I guess. They do have white mana, they do have red mana, so they could have Path or Lightning Bolt. Either one will kill the Spike Feeder, but we still get to respond by gaining a bunch of life. Okay, they allow us to get to the main phase. Second main, I mean. So they no longer have mana available. Let's start the combo. Let's see here. Save targets, always yield. So we're going to have to do this several times, but we only have 10 minutes left on the clock. So we're going to want to kind of thread the needle here. We're going to want to do this enough times so that we have a few more turns. This should be enough, actually. But we're still missing a piece. Even though we have Unbound Life, we don't have a way to kill the opponent. This is Jace the Mind Sculptor. They're going to look at our top card. Doing a Fate Seal. Puts the card on the bottom. Okay, they attack with Uro. That makes sense. They draw a card, they gain life. No reason not to attack with it. Okay, we could use the Horizon Canopy to draw a card, but I don't want to lose the land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with the Arbor Elf. So if we don't use Veil of Summer, we have exactly enough mana to win with a Walking Ballista off the top. Conclave Mentor is pretty good. That might win us the game. Nice. Not a fan. Not a fan of this hand, actually. We only have green mana. So these two cards, Eladamri's Call and Ranger, are uncastable. We don't have any ramp. The Collected Company is nice, but I don't want to wait till turn 4 to play a decent spell. This hand looks better. Champ into Heliod. We We could potentially get Walking Ballista going pretty quick. We have Eladamri's Call for it, as well as Ranger-Captain for it. I think we have to get rid of one of the two cards I just mentioned, though. I want to keep the lands. So the question is, do we get rid of the Ranger-Captain or the Call? Probably get rid of the Call. Sacred Foundry, untapped, plays Giver of Ruins. Wild. Okay, we got a second Heliod there. Not exactly what we were looking for. We'll play Windswept Heath, and then end of the opponent's turn, we'll go get the Temple Garden tapped. So we can play the Ahsoka on turn 2. Inkmoth Nexus, so this is HammerTime. We could be in a whole heap of trouble here. I think they can kill us next turn. Okay, well, there's nothing we can do about it. If we could play the Ranger-Captain, then at least we could prevent them from playing a hammer for a turn. We just have to play the Champ and hope they don't have it. I'm sure they do, though. Our hand is way too slow for the opponent's deck. Yep, activate Inkmoth, attack with it. No blocks. And this is where you put the hammer on it. GG. Opponent had a wicked starting hand there. Definitely going to want the Path to Exiles. Skyclave Apparitions for sure. Champs are bad. And the Infinite Life combo is okay, but if they're going to win through Infect, it's not going to do anything. Scavenging Ooze is bad. What about the Giver of Ruins? It buys us some time, and the opponent could be playing like Path to Exile. Might be worth keeping. I think I'd probably take out Spike Feeder. Okay, definitely want to play. So we can get turn 2 Ranger-Captain, turn 3 Collected Company. We'll keep this. If they're going too fast, we can use the Ranger-Captain to slow them down for a turn. Alright, so they kept a 7-card hand. What do they have for their turn 1 play? Cordulist. Okay, so that's a double strike dude. So next turn they could attack for lethal. But we have the Ranger-Captain to block. I think blocking should be good enough. Let's go get Walking Ballista. So that should be able to kill the core duelist next turn. Especially if we sacrifice the Ranger-Captain so that they can't play spells on their upkeep. I think that's the play here. So this will stop them from equipping the Court Duelist. If they don't have another creature, we can just take their one critter right off the board and keep our Walking Ballista. That would be the best of all worlds. How effective is this silence? Looks like they're trying to cast something. Alright, our opponent knows what's going on. They're just taking their time to figure out what they want to do. Stoneforge Mystic's a pretty good play. And we get Conclave Mentor. Okay, the Conclave Mentor means that we can play both that and the Walking Ballista this turn, so why not? And I think we just leave the token until they try to equip something to Core Duelist, and then we respawn. That's probably too dangerous to actually do it that way. I think we should just get rid of the Duelist while we have the chance. If they have, like, double hammer, they could make us look like a fool. Okay, so they have us dead next turn. We could Eladamri's Call, but we won't have enough white mana. Let's see here. So if they double hammer, we die. So we probably have to block with Conclave Mentor. Or we could block with the Walking Ballista. Pretty sure we have to block here. I'm just deciding which creature I want to block with. Conclave Mentor works a little bit better with Collected Company. What would I Eladamri's Call for? I would have 4 or 5 mana. I could get a 3-drop into play, but I can't double white. Let me take a quick look at the deck list here. Yeah, there's not... I could get Heliod. Get Heliod, play Heliod, but I can't gain life. So I think that I keep the Conclave Mentor and Collected Company. Walking Ballista is better versus the Inkmoth Nexus, but... okay, it's just Shadow Spear. Yeah, they might as well play that one. Makes sense. Gives it trample, and then they can put hammer on it. So I'm going to be taking quite a bit of damage regardless. They'll be gaining a bunch of life. But we can win with the Collected Company here. It is possible. I'm supposed to shoot them in the face here, but I forgot. Ranger-Captain. Mr. Red, what's going on, handsome? I thought we were going to face the mirror match at some point, but no mirrors here. Think that we just straight up have to collect a company. Yep, that's all we got. Okay, we get Skyclave Apparition, so we can take the Colossus Hammer, or we can take the Stoneforge Mystic. They have the Inkmoth Nexus, but no way to put that hammer on it. So I think we just get rid of the creature here. Okay, we only have 1 mana left. We can't do anything with that 1 mana. We'll attack with our creatures. We still have 2 creatures back as blockers, and hope they don't have a way to equip the hammer to the Inkmoth Nexus. Happy almost Christmas. Can barely believe. Oh, it looks like they have something. They have 3 cards in hand, so they could easily have another hammer or something. We can't block a flyer. They could also just be attacking here, but it looks like they have it. Red mana, they could be having, yep, Magnetic Theft, which just goes ahead and instant equips the hammer here. So that's GG. Looks like the opponent has a companion. They're playing Luris. Definitely keep this. Spike Feeder could do wonders against Scourge. Heliod is difficult for them to deal with if we get it onto the board. So we're looking at turn 2 Heliod, turn 3 Spike Feeder, win the game. Bowl of Oatmeal. Lucky. Almost there. A couple more weeks. Oh, they have the Thoughtseize, so that's going to get our Heliod. I was really hoping for a Heliod off the top, but deck just serves us up another land. We're going to throw the Spike Feeder onto the table and pass the turn. Yeah, that was a brutal Thoughtseize. Oh, here's a Dismember. Let's go ahead and gain the life. And they could be playing Shadow here, which would be pretty good for them. Looks like it. So that's an impressive hand from the opponent here. Going to be looking for Skyclave Apparition. That's exactly the card I was looking for. Deck. Figure one good turn deserves another, right? Oh, they have the Bolt, but they just get a 1/1 token now. And they have another Death Shadow. That is a problem. We only have 1 more Skyclave Apparition in the deck, but we do have 2 Eladamri's Call and 4 Collected Companies. Another Utopia Sprawl. That's not going to do it. We can take 1 hit and survive, unless 16, 17, 18... Yeah, so unless they get Fetch Land and TBR, we're good for 1 more turn. Might have been better to play the Temple Garden tapped there just to get that extra land, mana source, whereas the Windswept Heath, we might not be able to afford the life depending on how the math checks out, but it looks like they don't have the TBR here, so we don't have to worry about that this turn. Worry plenty next turn. There's a Scourge. So Collected Company off the top, please. time to concede. Wrath of God. Can't quite seem to find it in the 75, though. Okay, let's bring in the extra Auriok Champion, bring in the Path to Exiles, bring in the Skyclave Apparitions. Thanks, Hanson. I was kind of hoping that you being here would help us with that. You should have seen Game 3 versus Tron, Match 1. We had so many turns to make something happen, and we just drew garbage. So let's see here. Life gain is super good. So Spike Feeder, Heliod, that's really where we want to be going. Scavenging Ooze is also good for that reason. You have a lot of points to redeem? Oh, okay. I see what's going on. Is it rude to burp into a mic? Probably. All right. What is pretty close? You got like 3,800, 35? Are you at like 41? Woo! Wow. Yeah, we're going to be opening 2 chests today, so it looks like. Alright, so I'm going to figure out these last couple cards I have to pull out of the deck here. All the cards seem so good, though. I mean, Veil would also be really good, but how do I make room for it? Auriok Champion super good. Spike Feeder, Heliod combo super good. Everything is great in this deck. Too bad I lost. Yeah, maybe I should have taken out the second Mentor. Yeah, I probably should have taken out the second one instead of taking out the second Ranger-Captain thing. Anyway, let's see what we get here. 1 land hand. So 1 land, no ramp, cannot keep, must mull. This hand we can keep. We can even get a champ out turn 2. Or a Sun Crowned. Either one is very difficult for the opponent to remove. We have to figure out which card we're going to get rid of. Probably the Conclave Mentor here. We're just going to have a hard time finding a space to put it onto the board. You thinking land? Okay, so we definitely keep. You think pitch the Vista. We're going to be taking pain anyway from the Horizon Canopy. And if the Arbor Elf doesn't survive, maybe we can draw a land before we get to Sun Crowned. Well, they have something. Another Thoughtseize. Alright, so they'll either take Heliod or Ahsoka. And whichever one they don't take is the one we will play. Okay, so we have a total of 3 mana. Might as well just play the champ and attack. Good thing. I'm second guessing my attack at this point. Why do we want to get them closer to playing their Death Shadow? Yeah, I think that you're definitely right there. After I second thought the attack, it definitely would have been better to untap the Temple Garden so we didn't use the Canopy. But they can't play a Shadow this turn, so that's a bonus. Another Canopy. I guess we just play Conclave Mentor and pass. Let's see here. Always yes, always yield. That should make things a little bit quicker in the future. Fatal push for the Conclave Mentor. I guess we'll gain a couple life. Puts us back up to 20. So they're not going to be able to play Scourge now. Ooh. That's a cool card. I mean, it's not good for me, but yeah, good for them. Well, it makes sense. As the Scourge player, you're going to expect to find some number of champions on the opposing side. I was playing Kozilek's Return to answer it. Rampage means that it can only really answer the champ if the champ is the only card available, but it is more flexible in the sense that it can kill planeswalkers and such. Alright, deck. What are you doing to me? Okay. Drawing a bunch of lands here. I'm going to play the Pendelhaven so that I can stay at 20. Well, I mean, the Death Shadow is going to hit me anyway. That's a wasted Thoughtseize opponent. I mean, I guess it does grow your Death Shadow. You're going to put Lurrus in hand here, play Scourge. Oh, they're going for the Night's Whisper plan. That also grows their Shadow and draws them cards. Pretty good here. Personally, I'm a fan of Dark Confidant in that slot. But that's a different topic for a different time. Collect a Company. Prismatic Vista. It is a pretty cool card. Spike Feeder. Unfortunately, we don't have the mana to play it. We've been sacrificing our lands. And the Inquisition takes the Spike Feeder. I know. I feel it. This game was awful. Actually very similar to the game I played against Tron, just in the quality of card draws. I suppose the card draws were fine. The opponent just had all the answers to everything. Opponent's probably having a great time. Alright, Eladamri's Call is not going to find us anything. Could get the Champ, but that only blocks one creature. This hand isn't great. I wonder if it's even keepable. It might be. Let's try it. Oh, we're playing against Boogles? Okay, Giver of Ruins is pretty good. Skyclave Apparition is pretty good. So our hand is not too bad in this matchup. Utopia Sprawl off the top. That's pretty good too. Means that we're going to be able to get the Skyclave Apparition down on turn 3, take their first auras away, one of their first auras anyway, or we could put down Heliod. Utopia Sprawl there is a pretty good draw. I think that we're going to want to probably get Forest, put the Sprawl on Forest, name White, then play Temple Garden. So let's use the Prismatic Vista in that case. Okay, so Hollowed Fountain. What that leads me to believe... Ethereal Armor, yep. Is that they're actually playing, yeah, the blue version of Boogles. Thought so. Another Utopia Sprawl. So playing Sprawl is free. And we have a chump blocker now, too. Don't think we need to chump this turn. So let's let it through. And we might be able to get a Giver of Ruins onto the board. If we can keep that Skyclave Apparition around long enough, then we might be able to block over and over and over again, which would keep them from drawing cards, I think, because they have to do damage to us. Yeah. Oh, they have the Rancor, though, so they can give it Trample now. Okay, that's a beating. Another Utopia Sprawl. Well, I guess it's free. I hate that we have to lose life if we want to use either of these lands for mana. So we have... Oh, let's see here. I could actually use the green mana from this one to put the Utopia Sprawl on this land. 1, 2, 3, 4. Free real estate. Where's that? Oh, yeah, the Sprawl. Ooh. So that one is actually worth 5 ticks. I'll have to trade that one off. I missed the land drop. Oh, you're right. I wanted to play the Temple Garden tapped, but I wasn't thinking. This league has been getting to me. But at least we hit with the Court of Grace, so that gets us back the a little bit of credit that we lost on this league. Thank you, Handsome. Okay, so this is for 6. I don't think we bother chumping this. It would just prevent 2 damage, or 4 if we double blocked. It does mean that they're going to draw 3 cards, reload, but if we get a Spike Feeder off the top, we win. If we get Walking Ballista off the top, we win. They could have Path to Exile, but we have the Giver of Ruins to protect ourselves from one path. So we still have a lot of ways to win the game. But it's not by drawing Horizon Canopy. Okay, we're going to use the white mana here, so that we can still have double green for Spike Feeder. Ranger-Captain. Oh, I'm really regretting not playing that land now. Probably still wouldn't quite have enough mana. No, we would still be missing mana. Is it possible for us to win? Yeah, we can block the Slippery Bogle with the Heliod. So we might still be able to get there. We get the Walking Ballista, and maybe we can win next turn. I mean, Heliod doesn't even chump. He's indestructible. Blocks for days. But opponent has a ton of cards in hand and a ton of lands, so they could like give the Slippery Bogle flying or something. That would be a problem. Oh, that's very true. Yep. Yep, and I'll definitely throw all my creatures under the bus. Except for, I mean, obviously I want to keep the Heliod so we can Walking Ballista and win. Do we even have enough mana for that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we do. 6 is exactly how much we need. Alright, opponent is taking their time to think through their turn here. They know we have Walking Ballista in hand. They know that this is their last turn unless they can kill us or interact. Yeah, we got some big brain math going on here. And they don't even need 7. All they need is 5. Here it comes. You know what I should have done? I should have sacrificed the Ranger-Captain on their upkeep so that they wouldn't be able to give the Bogle flying. But I didn't, and at this point I don't want to anymore, because I think if they had something that gave the Bogle flying, that would have been their first thing they would have done. So let's see here, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Should have enough to survive here. And they're only attacking with the Slippery Bogle. Okay. They're tapped out. They are going to be able to draw cards, but I think we should survive this. Definitely block here. We can keep the Giver. So that's 5, that's 10. So we would take 2, go to 3, and then we can play the Canopy for the last land. So that puts us to 2. I think it should. And we can save the Ranger-Captain with the Giver of Ruins. And then we can use the Ranger-Captain on upkeep or on our main whenever to make sure that they don't cast any spells to interact with our Walking Ballista. So they have a mana confluence. They spend their last mana, so we win. No sweat. Alright, save target, always yield. I wonder if I can save target on the Walking Ballista. Save target. Always yield. Okay. That speeds up the combo. Not much further to go. Let's just keep on clicking. Alright, so opponents let us go through the entire combo to cut down our clock, but we still have 17 minutes and a half left. That combo went pretty quick. But it does seem like they would be the type to allow us to gain a bunch of life with a Spike Feeder and then just, you know, not concede. See if we lose to the clock. So we're going to have to watch out for that. We can take out the Champ and the Scooze. Bring in the Apparitions. Path is no good. Actually, Choke seems okay. And I think Choke is going to be better than any of the other cards we have. Path hits nothing. Rest in Peace does little. Champ does nothing. Eidolon does very little. Veil of Summer does almost nothing. Scooze does nothing. Almost. The Scooze might be better than the Choke. You think the Eidolon might be good? So they can only play one aura per turn? Probably better than Choke. Alright, I think we'll keep it like this. I'm going to leave the Giver of Ruins in. Yeah, that's very true. I'm going to leave the Giver of Ruins in. It can mean that we can block for days if they don't have Trample or Flying. And the Skyclave Apparitions are going to be taking the auras off their creatures, as you saw last game. Alright, we're going to submit like this. Alright, game 2 of match 5. Okay, opponents taking their time on their sideboard decisions. That's fair. Definitely been on the red in my sideboard decisions in the past. I think I did it this league. They have Blood Moon. Oh, handsome. Oh, that shouldn't be so funny, but it is. Always respect the Blood Moon. Okay, so the timer went to 0. So they might not have actually sideboarded. I wonder if they're salty. Doing turkey this year? Nope. All my family is in Ontario, so I'm not really doing much for Christmas this year. Going to be working on some of the magic stuff, see if I can get the stream a little bit, improve it a little bit. What about yourself, Handsome? What do you have planned for your feast? Gonna have some yams, maybe? Turkey, maybe ham? 3 feasts? That's the most feasts. Paper magic? Lucky. That is awesome. Are you going to cut each other's decks? Whew, risky. Ooh. Open a chest. Awesome. You mind if we finish this game? I'll open the chest during sideboard if we lose this game. Worse cards, more play points. You got it. Okay, we got a Heliod off the top. So we have Heliod and Spike Feeder. That is really, really good, especially versus this opponent. So we have 2 planes here. We have plenty of white mana. The Windswept Heath gets us the 2nd green for the Spike Feeder. So what do I name for the color with Utopia Sprawl? And does it matter? Ham on Boxing Day? Nice. Classic turkey at home for Christmas Day. That sounds amazing, Handsome. Oh, no doubt. I've been involved in a Christmas feast or 2. There is a lot of work. Skyclave Apparition, another great draw, but I think I want to just get the Heliod out this turn and then play Spike Feeder next turn. Famous last words? I don't think I'm going to die next turn. That is so kind. Thanks, Handsome. See, this is pretty good. And if we didn't have the Spike Feeder, I'd be really worried right now. Walking Ballista. We don't have the mana to win with Walking Ballista right now. Let's just play the Spike Feeder and get some time. We're going to use some time off our clock to get us some time as far as turns go. So we're going to buy turns with time. Let's see here. Just get a forest. Just a regular old basic snow-covered forest. Alright. Target Spike Feeder. Save target, always yield. Alright, let's see if opponent will at any point concede here. I doubt they will. We're going to want to gain some life so that we don't need to activate this combo again for a couple of turns. I'm thinking maybe go to 100. But we could probably stop at 60. Yeah, let's just stop at 60 to conserve clock. That'll give us several turns. What I'm worried about is if we need to gain life again, they could respond by pathing the Spike Feeder. And that would leave us with our pants down if we, only gain 20 life or something, and then they could kill us in a couple turns. Playing around the Blood Moon. Exactly, Handsome. You know what I'm about. All about playing around that Blood Moon. Oh, if only we could get to 69. But it has to be an even life total. All right, we're going to split the difference. 80 life. Go ahead, opponent. And opponent concedes. Nice guy, opponent.